The Spin-off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Kia ora, this is Toby Manhire, here to urge you to tune in to Gone by Lunchtime, a podcast with me, Annabelle Lee Mather and Ben Thomas, tackling the world of New Zealand politics, from policy to polling, from scandal to psychodrama. Listen to Gone by Lunchtime, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network, wherever good pods are sold.
Do I need to hold the phone somewhere special or just in the duvet cocoon?
Welcome to The Real Pod. It gets realer by the week. My name's Jane Yee. I'm joined by Alex Casey and Duncan Grieve of the Spin-off / Their Houses.
Under duvets.
Under blankets. This is real buzzy, like that we've just got to the point where very quickly this is like normal. Of course this is how you do a podcast now, under a blanket at home.
This is how everyone talks. Never in the same room, in the middle of a pandemic. It's all fine.
I think it would be nice to give everyone a little idea of where you're sitting now and what your surrounds are, seeing as we're not in the studio. Alex, where are you?
I am sitting in our office in Mount Albert. I am in a granny flat with my partner Joe and our two cats, Zelda and Link. Right before this podcast, Zelda just brought in a mouse and just was running around with a mouse, and it was extremely stressful and felt like it broke a lot of the lockdown rules. I didn't feel comfy kind of touching the mouse, but then I did, and I found it to be extremely cute. So look for the little things, everyone. That's what I'd say. And then I washed my hands for 25 minutes.
I woke up and there was a cockroach on my phone this morning, so same.
Nature.
Duncan, where are you?
I'm in like a children's lounge, which is fine, I suppose. I've been up since 5 a.m. I did the early shift on our live updates blog, as I do every day, which involves spending an hour and a half reading the world's news, which is like quite an intense... That's how I've started the day every day for a long time, but now it's quite formalised, and it just feels like it really sets you up for to be like a nervous wreck by sort of dawn, which is cool.
Well, you wouldn't know that Duncan's in a children's lounge because we're doing this over Zoom, and he's given himself a lovely background of Lucina and Lily and our top 5. Is that right? Yeah.
Well, we're going to release this recording potentially, even if it's just to the corner. We'll give them the video version.
It's cool. This great, compelling video.
I feel like they want it. I think they want to see our beautiful faces.
I feel like we need to get more show and telly. I was going to dress up in a suit, but then I realised my top hat is in the big house, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to go there.
Don't burst the bubble.
I don't want to burst the bubble to get a top hat, although that would be quite a good way for me to go.
It feels like if you're ever going to burst the bubble, that will be why. Jane, where are you?
I'm in a wardrobe. So we booked return flights back to the US, but I don't think we're going back to the US anytime soon, if at all. So we are self-isolating in a friend's parents' batch, which is really lovely. But they only expected us to be here for 2 weeks, and now I'm not sure what we're allowed to do in terms of if we can go to another vacant house or not during lockdown. Anyway, I'm in their wardrobe. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's batch vibes at Lee. Yeah. What's the thing to your right? That lovely shell print kimono.
That's what it is.
That's
exactly what it is. Yeah, it's a dressing gown, a robe of sorts, sort of a lightweight summery one, because this is a beach house after all. Lockwood all throughout, just surrounded.
I love that. That makes me feel, I don't know, just safe and good seeing that Lockwood behind you. You know, it's a good reminder of what's out there.
I've also fashioned a sort of a tent out of a duvet to try and absorb some of the sound, I guess, and echo. You guys are also sitting under duvets, but I think when Toby said that we're supposed to record under duvets, you're supposed to have it over like your computer and the recording device as well. Otherwise, you look like you're in Sister Act.
Yeah, we are. To be clear, this is just how I sit every day. This isn't for sound. I've been very wrapped up.
Anyway, should we get on with the podcast?
Yeah.
I guess so. Are we going to talk more about the bad thing, or are we just going to...
What do you want to say, Alex?
Well, I don't know. Like, does everyone just feel fucking crazy right now? To be clear? Yeah, okay,
Yes.
good. I've been like... Yesterday, I found myself, like, both crying and laughing hysterically when I realised that I had been, like, basically sitting on the stairs crying like an army wife. Just kind of keening, like, hunched over. I did have to, some people in my family are healthcare workers, and I had to say goodbye to him and my own mum, who have gone up north, and you don't know when you're going to see them, and it was all quite intense. But I've been talking with people, and everyone's like, it's just so weird. Everything feels so cinematic and surreal that you can go from feeling everything to just feeling like nothing as well. It's crazy.
It's so crazy. We are like dealing with family dramas as well, because we have an extended family member who basically is kind of homeless. Like he kind of lives in his shed through the summertime and then sleeps at mum and dad's a bit, but we can't have him at mum and dad's, so we're struggling to find somewhere for him to go, and none of his direct family members will take him in. It's very stressful. And so these are kind of like the things that we're like, we didn't expect that we'd have to be dealing with this kind of thing. And there's still, I don't know, I feel like there's still questions around like the minutiae of what you can and can't do, and people looking for loopholes, which is so dumb.
Yeah. Listen to Susie Wiles. Don't do anything else. I've been watching that video of her telling everyone to stay home on loop. I find it very just compelling. It's just a great clip.
I just think we need to sellotape up people's doors, go around with some duct tape and just keep them in.
And if anyone out there's been bloody pranksters, I saw in someone's Instagram story in Wellington, apparently when the lockdown started last night, that someone started playing the Purge government announcement and alarm really loudly out their window. Don't fucking do any of that shit, because I love a joke, and I intend on there being a lot of jokes on this podcast, but though that sort of shit, just no
Probably
time
bloody
for pranks.
Jono or Ben.
Yeah, true. True. Gotta do something. They're essential services.
Anyway, let's get to Bachelorette NZ.
Shall we shout out the beloved holy sponsor?
Shit, yes, we should. Nando's. Many a corny enjoyed their last meal in the wild of Nando's, I think mostly via a delivery service. What a good choice.
Yeah, I did the same.
Yeah, me too.
The last meal, you got to respect. I just hope they make it through okay, because they've just done a big capital expenditure with all those restaurant fit outs, and I watched that video of the young child in Britain when she was told Nando's wasn't going to be around, and I felt the same, so it's just got to be there when we get out. That's the main government priority, I think.
If you don't like humans and you're not worried about what's going to happen to the humans, at least think of Nando's. I can't imagine that there's a single person out there who doesn't want Nando's to still be standing at the end of all this. So if you can't do it for the people, do it for Nando's.
We definitely need some big corny online Nando fest when it reopens, just for our psychic health, and to give praise to the great Nando in the sky.
There are the Nando's peri peri salt, of course, you can still buy at the supermarket for now.
It's an essential. It's an official sanction essential. As long as you get it while you're getting your milk, you're okay.
Yeah, I think peri peri milk is what we all need. in these trying times.
Shall we do the peri peri milk challenge?
No. Oh my gosh.
Yes, I just think we should go. I mean, we need to talk about this, but I feel like we should just pod through the pandemic and do all the challenges and everything weird, because obviously Batch is going to wrap up next week.
Yeah.
And then there is going to be a bit of a pause in reality television.
Oh, Miffy mug.
Anyway.
So, okay, I just need to clarify something. Read the news that came out that there wasn't going to be a finale of Bachelorette NZ because they hadn't finished producing it. Am I correct in thinking that they're actually just talking about the after the final rose men tell all type thing?
They were, but also I think it's since changed again, and they have actually managed to deliver an episode, and there will be one on Tuesday night. So, I mean, there's a lot of messaging out there. There's a lot of things confusing people, but that's one thing we can be clear on.
Will we see the
we
final
will see it
episode
on Tuesday.
Proper?
Yeah.
Okay, so is Tuesday going to be the men tell all? Or
Yes.
is that going to be? Yes. Okay, great.
Right?
Warner Brothers have, it was literally like within less than 24 hours we were told that it would not happen and it would just screen one day because Warner Brothers couldn't complete it, understandably. And then within moments, they had or hours, they just pulled it out of their ass, which was real impressive. And I think it just shows the way that, Kiwis are just digging deep and doing what it takes for the people in this during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Because media has become an essential service all on its own in a way that it never has been before.
Disagree.
It's just... Okay. No, there was some confusion about when they said they weren't going to be having a final episode, that there was not going to be like the final rose kind of episode, and a lot of people were like, what, you can't just do that.
Yeah, it's confusing. It's because the live, well, not live, but the special itself is kind of a fusion of both After the Final Rose and the Men Tell All. So I think it doesn't even have a proper name.
Yeah.
After the after the final men. I don't know. It's weird.
I have 4 weeks to decide I'm going to drop my entire life in.
I am disgusted at how much you have copied my husband.
This part, I don't even know you.
Reality check.
Are we still, where are we? We're still in Argentina, aren't we, at the beginning of this beginning of all this mess? We're still in Argentina.
Yeah, they tried to do that "you're all going home" kind of thing, and it just didn't really land. But you just leave it in. You got to fill those minutes.
Yeah.
So I did notice that we're just going to go through kind of chronologically now because we've got so few fellas to touch on. But it started off with the cocktail party, and Lily took Terrence aside, and he goes in for a kiss, and she's like, "Oh, I've been told I can't kiss with this lipstick on." Do you think that's true? Not really, eh?
And then she was just wiping that mouth for ages, eh?
17, 18 years at least, like just wiping and wiping and wiping. It was...
Yeah, so it was a complete DNA removal situation. Was that where you got the idea, Alex, to do your...
Yeah.
Because it is amazing watching it now. You're just like, that is disgusting. Like, all human interaction is disgusting, but that whole show is... It's violating all our most sacredly held post-pandemic principles of never touching or looking at each other.
The under the sea finger pull. I mean, you won't be doing that again, will you?
That's actually fine. That's the only thing you are allowed to do.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I think water is fine. But at one point, I think Jesse's just stuck his finger in Terrence's mouth at the cocktail party as well. They do that a lot. Those men, I've noticed.
It's very hot in Argentina at this time. Art's got no clothes on. He's completely losing the plot, and I love it.
Yeah.
He's kind of barely been in the show, and then suddenly he's like David Attenborough.
I
up the tree.
I want art I kind of want to see like an art cut where it's just art shooting the whole thing. Because he's so brazen, but he has that, there was that argument scene towards the end of Wednesday night's episode, and he was looking really solemn and engaged and also absolutely just owning them with a really well-placed GoPro. Nice.
Yeah, that was really good.
Very
You'll
subtle,
record
eh?
everything.
The cocktail party I found interesting when they did that kind of more behind the scenes stuff and pulled back behind the crew and Art's up the tree looking down, and you can see just how little like the setup is. It's just a couple of benches and a table in this big garden. It's just like no other kind of decoration. There's not candles or like pergolas.
There's dogs.
Any of the, yeah, well, obviously everyone
Dogs
needs a
and
dog.
spades.
But it's just real rinky-dink. I mean, this is obviously not a new observation in terms of New Zealand reality television, but it just struck me. I don't know, there's something about that shot that just made me go, oh, it's kind of sad.
It is a bit rinky-dink, especially, you know, how when they go away for a chat and they always just go to that bench.
What bench?
Where do you want to go, the bench or the tree?
Okay, but the best part of the cocktail party is without a doubt when Logan debuts his brand new single, Might Be the Girl.
Oh my God. And Aaron just losing it. Oh.
Two things. Yeah, Aaron losing it is he has got no intention of sort of holding anything back. Like he's like leaning so far into kind of neurosis, crazy town, crazy frog. That it's really like it's kind of illuminating, kind of bracing and impressive, also definitely scary.
Yeah.
But can I be the first to go out on a limb and say, bit of a tune?
No, I knew it. I knew you were going to say that.
When the lads come in on the harmonised kind of raggedy back BVs, I was like, oof, got something.
Okay, I definitely want Logan to record this song properly and I want him to release it. I think if there was ever a time that he was going to hit it big, it would be now, while everyone's just slightly crazed and doing nonsensical things like buying his single. Did he come on here as a musician trying to get exposure?
I think almost certainly. I feel like we've seen that guitar like a lot. And the biggest lie he told right before he started playing was, this isn't something I would normally do. Fuck off. You do that 24/7.
The second biggest lie he told was when he told her that he's scared of heights, because I've looked at his Instagram. The guy's been zip lining, he's been skydiving, he's been paragliding.
Crazy fun things to do in Budapest.
Yeah, but like his Instagram is full of him being up high and not being scared of it at all.
Has anyone on any of these shows ever not been scared of heights? Like as a known fact? Like it seems like it's just something that you say because it means you get to do a fun thing. You know?
See, if it was me, I would say I'm scared of puppies. So that I got to hang out with
I'm
puppies.
scared of cash.
I'm scared of, terrified of Nando's.
To be honest, I'm actually quite scared of how hot this blanket is. I think I'm going to pass out.
Face your fear, Duncan. We'll love you for it. Yeah, okay, so Aaron, not happy about the song.
Nah.
Anyone can fucking write a song. Anyone can fucking write music.
This is bullshit.
Well, I should have written a song. To be fair, I think that Lucina's pivot on Aaron was super bizarre. Don't you think?
What happened again?
You're downing your effort pivot.
Yeah. I think he was downing his efforts because Logan came in with the guitar and performed that sweet tune. It felt to me like this is the first time that I was like, I think Lucina, she's gaslighting Aaron. Like she's basically trying to make it like, I don't like you, but I can't say that, so I'm going to make it your fault.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
felt like that. Also, he was the original songstress.
He was.
That's that weird song that he did.
Didn't write it though.
Every time I
Key difference.
Is that even the song? I'm scared. I'm scared I just sang the wrong thing.
No, you sang the right song. Yeah, so it was an interesting play by her, I thought. It definitely feels like she's getting to the point where she's very interested in finding out what everyone thinks if she doesn't choose anyone. And then, I don't know, I don't feel like there's any surprise coming here.
No. I refuse to comment at this time.
I mean, it is... The fact that she and the voiceover are constantly referencing that doesn't feel like the normal way this is going at the end. It's not like Lily's always banging on about how, well, could just cop out, you know?
Yeah.
It's quite...
She's done the opposite. Lily's been like, I am definitely choosing someone at the end of this. Like, that's what she said to Richie, didn't she? She's like, I know it's an option not to. I wonder how she knows that. But I definitely am choosing someone at the end of this. Like, that's my goal.
But it feels like we all know that that's a possibility, but it's not one that you want to carry with you as you watch the final episodes, because it kind of kind of completely sucks a lot of the emotion out of those conversations. Not like there's a huge amount in there anyway. So it seems weird that the production has made the decision to foreground that so heavily, given that when it happens, you know?
But I wonder if it's like post-Honey Badger, that blindside was so shocking and caused such a backlash against him that maybe it's like a protection thing of like, if Lucina was all about it and then if she does make that decision, it comes as a shock. I mean, she's already in quite a bad place, I think, kind of.
What with
publicity-wise?
Oh, right, yes.
Like, I think people have really turned on her. Kind of unfairly, because I'm sure she's a fine person. I just think maybe she hasn't, she doesn't come across as well as Lily does.
Well, I think she's definitely trying to let the guy, like, she's not getting too close. I just think her misstep in this situation with Aaron is kind of making it sound like he's done something wrong. When, I mean, he's a terrifying creature. But aside from that, he hasn't done the thing which she's accusing him of, which is downing his effort. He has been all in. Like, no one has ever shown that they're interested in someone more than Aaron has.
Yeah. To the point of it being something that's like, right up. Yeah, it's right up to a sort of a quite scary level at times.
She could have used that as her reason. She could have said, I find it maybe a little too much.
But that's sort of implausible. I think the thing with Aaron is that, compared to all of these sort of multi-talented, sort of by the standards of the show, sophisticated men of the world, sort of, I know what a wine is, I know which end of a guitar you strum kind of guys, he really kind of has nothing.
He hasn't had an opportunity.
Yeah.
He hasn't had an opportunity to show us his food tech skills, which I feel is, that might be what got him over the line.
I've seen them on Instagram, ripper tray of nachos.
Yeah, but
sold.
But, he could have gone and done some food technology. It's not like people haven't gone and done things on their own time to impress the ladies. He just has chosen to spend that time sort of doing pieces to camera where he sounds increasingly crazed. That's his way of showing he loves her.
There was a really scary thing he said to Lucina when he said, I wrote it down because it sounded like, serial killer, are you good inside your beautiful little head?
Have you seen you?
I don't know.
He's definitely terrifying, and also cancelled for saying the R word, which he shouldn't have said. And then kind of was like, oh, not allowed to say that kind of thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And then he was like, what did he say? What the fuck do doctors know anyway?
Yeah, he definitely said that.
Quite a lot, I would think.
But he knows about food technology, Jane.
Yeah.
What is food technology? Like, is that like a blender?
It's making food.
It's a delicate chemical balance of cheese, nacho bean.
Hang on, isn't it what we used to call home economics?
Yeah.
It's cooking. It's the cooking part of home economics. What are you doing, Duncan?
I was trying out some stuff.
I'm like, I'm getting really hot. I'm also holding this duvet up is starting to really hurt. But
That's why I suspended mine. So it's probably completely ineffective.
Lucky for some.
You're real
Okay.
prepper.
Lily went down a little in my estimation this week when she said, I think Terence might be looking for someone who can help him through his issues, and that's not really what I'm looking for. It's just like, that's not a nice thing to say.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Also, Lily seems like someone who's very into helping people through their issues, as she'll later kind of heavily neg Lucina about. We've been working on some of your shit qualities together.
I feel bad for Terence because, again, I think that sometimes the leads want to find a reason that they're sending someone home. A perfectly good reason is just like, I'm not feeling it. Like, that in itself is fine. It doesn't have to be, you got some issues and I don't want to have to deal with them. Like, that's a real, even if that's what you're thinking in your head, don't say that on the television.
But don't you feel like Lily has got a commitment to sort of self-reflection and honesty that most of the time is really great TV and endears us to her, but you know, we basically want her to lie in that situation, and that is the kind and fair thing to do. But I figure when you're sort of so deep into the trying to tell the truth at all times thing, it kind of it's probably quite a switch to make. But I totally agree that when she said that, I winced hard.
I think it's probably particularly harsh because he's spoken so much about the fact that he hasn't revealed this stuff before, even to the people closest to him. So it's not like he's come on as someone that's kind of been his narrative from the word go, and that he's constantly talking about his issues or so on. It's something that like took a while, then it came up, and then basically a few weeks after it did, she's like, that'll do, thanks. But anyway, the other reason why she might have said this, and Lucina's kind of similar, is that it seemed like they maybe had been on the sauce a bit during this cocktail party. Did you?
When? How? I didn't notice that. What was going on?
Or was it this one or the other one? In the moments, I don't know if it was this cocktail party. No, it was the other one. So no excuse, Lily. And the one they had at the very end in the last episode, both the girls were like, Lily was virtually slurring, and Lucina's hair was all like, they cut from her sitting at the table with the guys and her hair's all perfect, and then they cut to the in the moment, and he looks like,
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like, definitely.
But you run the risk.
night.
That's why you don't do like a bouffant, though. You know,
no,
that
just
shit
leave
will
it.
fall.
Leave it out. Anyway, all that. Before the rose ceremony, just before Terence goes home, Lily pulls Richie aside and has a chat about the thing that I tried to explain last week.
The genuineness.
I can't handle the storyline. Like, it's so minor to begin with, and it's been the single biggest sort of tension thread throughout, and it's so boring.
It sucks. Even Lily's bored of it. Like by the
But she's
by
the one
the
who
end.
keeps bringing it up. Like the other guys actually like thought this was done, thought it had been put to bed, but Lily really wants to dig in deep on it. The thing that frustrates me the absolute most about it is they're talking about two different events. They're like, the event that Jessie is accusing Richie about is different to the one that Richie's defending himself on, and so they don't clear that up until right near the very end.
I don't know.
Okay, so Terence goes home, and for some reason my next note is that Logan has giant pecs.
Whoa. Can we talk about those for about half an hour?
Did you see them?
I didn't see them.
Okay.
Where did you see Logan's pecs?
It was like when they were packing up, I think, to go back to New Zealand.
What is a pec? Is that the front boob?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to the back boob.
They are so big. I honestly,
they're huge.
I think they might be fake. I think they might be fake because all of the rest of, like, it's very hard to just develop your pecs because it's connected to your shoulders and your I don't know, whatever these are, like all kinds of things. Like, it's why he has just got enormous pecs and everything else is kind of normal. And you're just like, how? I don't even know how you would exercise just your pecs to that extent.
How have we only have we seen him topless before, or was this the first time?
I'd noticed it, like, before. I was like, that's quite different. But that was that shot in particular. There was like a sort of a side angle where it was almost like a breast. It was so distinct and detached and out of proportion with the rest of his body. Because Quinn is just like a monster CrossFitter, and his pecs are nothing like Logan's.
This is crazy. I missed all of this. Did you take a screenshot? Maybe I've got some in my files.
No, we didn't take a screenshot. I didn't take a screenshot, but someone will who's listening to this right now.
I want someone who's like knows about physiology and sort of...
I can send it to my bodybuilder friends. Is that useful?
Yeah, real useful.
And say, how does this happen?
I think it could be a scandal queenie. Like, I don't know how it happens.
Okay, anyway. So we're off to... Oh, also, at the end of their time in Argentina, Lucina was like, we've had so much fun and it went so fast. Are you kidding me?
No friggin' way.
I mean, we only saw, like, a highlights reel of their time in Argentina. They had to live it, like, minute by minute.
That was one of the longest lockdowns in history. Like, at least they had a big bubble, but still.
Do you know who's not worried about the lockdown? Any of those bachelors who are in Argentina.
Except
they're just like, so what?
Except that they can't, like, touch each other's faces constantly.
Which is what they really like to do. No wrestling, no nothing. What would have happened if they would have just flown them home straight away, right? Did Argentina have crazy travel things kick in fast?
No, because it took ages to get to South America. I don't even know if they've got that many cases yet. But it is crazy to think of all the live productions and what is going to happen to them. Like, what's happening to TV? I mean, obviously you're going through it a bit, Alex, with the block on pause. But it's going to be mad, like, because we just don't know how long it's lasting.
It's not the time for us to just do a TV show, guys.
Well, I think we're making it as we speak.
What is this?
There was also... because it's like they're still making, or at least up until this week, things like, have you been paying attention? But then we got a last minute kind of a message from TVNZ saying they've decided to pull the episode because the news is also changing so fast that if you have, you know, like a panel news show, even if it's shot the day before, it's just... I mean, I anticipate that will probably slow down, but last week, this week... They had to pull it because just the content didn't hold up anymore, which is crazy.
Well, what do you think that was? Because my reading of that, I got the same press release, and I felt like it almost implied that maybe there were people making light of it, or maybe there were people sort of saying it was over the top. Like, everything is so heightened and sensitive right now that it felt almost like there was a huge and immovable segment of it that was topical, but that... a thing that was kind of fair game for a laugh or for debate a week ago. Like, that's the problem, right?
Yeah. What was funny a week ago is not funny now.
Jane's frozen.
Oh, no. Am I frozen?
Jane, no.
No.
Jane.
Jane, come back.
She's back.
Am I back? I've got a note across my computer saying your internet connection is unstable.
Uh-oh.
Am I still here?
Yeah, you back.
Yeah, your face is frozen, but your voice is not.
Don't worry about my face. Don't worry about it. Okay, should we keep going?
Yeah.
We enter hometowns and we start with Jessie. They greet each other by throwing stones at each other. Perfectly good social distancing kind of a way to greet someone.
Really great, actually. But then they blow it with a bloody hug.
Yeah.
Can I talk about the hugs? Like,
yes.
So they were Lily leapt into all three of their arms. Two of them got a full wraparound leg hug, and one got a knees swinging up backwards hug. So it's just slightly less intimate, and that the third, the less intimate huggy, was Jessie.
Yeah, we know Jessie's got funny things with affection, but I also wonder, and this is not a neg, but I think. Is it a height thing?
Yeah, I was going to say, he's a bit shorter, isn't he? So it's harder to sort of lift her off, like, just purely physics.
I think it would just be, she'd have to be like, and like do a crunch and lift her legs up on her own accord. I don't know.
And then maybe they'd be more around his thighs than his waist if she didn't get enough. And then she could just slide down like a fireman's pole, and it would just been disastrous. I think she's thought about it, and she's weighed up whether or not it was worth it, and decided just to go for the flick up the legs behind kind of action. Yeah.
It's just a cool thing to talk about.
that the case for everything we talk about? Anyway, they go paragliding and it's cool, and then I didn't see the rest of the episode. So can you guys fill me in on his family?
You didn't see the whole... Oh, man, I got real distracted with Hometowns, I found it intensely boring.
I had a big nap. I had like a 30-minute yesterday during episode 2.
I loved Logan's family. I was all in on Logan's family.
Logan's family, Francoise. They had a tattoo show and tell. His mum was quite mad about it. She was like, don't come back with any more tattoos. And he came back with heaps, including the reveal that they also got matching tattoos, which I don't think was included in the show.
What did they get?
They both got tattoos of like a wine bottle with a rose sticking out of it. And I think, there was kind of a weird joke where his brother was like, yeah, she's a cool chick. And he was like, don't try to take her off me, bro. And that was kind of it. It was quite worrying.
Is his brother a hottie or a noddy?
His brother's a hottie. His brother's got a man bum. I'd be worried.
Legit concern.
Yeah, I reckon.
So maybe, there's a chance then that Lily could choose Jesse to get to his brother.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a situation we could play out.
YOLO. Okay, so anything else worthy of noting in terms of Jesse's hometown?
His mum thought they were falling in love. His mum thought he'd fallen in love and was very concerned because he hasn't had a serious girlfriend since he was 17, which I think is quite intense. And,
Apart from that girl at camp last year.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a real person?
Is that a real thing?
It just sounds a lot like a made-up thing.
She just goes to another school.
Oh, cute. Okay, well then let's go to Logan. Where does Jesse live? He lives in he grew up in Gulf Harbour, so that's where we were. Then we go to Logan's hometown of Auckland.
Yeah, it was just Auckland.
I couldn't quite figure out exactly where.
It was beachy, seemingly, as well.
Yeah. I don't know. If anyone knows, let us know. A few people in the corner were floating Takapuna, but it wasn't Takapuna, so I'm not sure. Oh, what do you got there, Alex?
Sorry, just my notes.
It's on like medical centre paper, and it's just.
Oh yeah, it's my stepdad's. Okay, that's fine.
As long as you're all right. Okay, so Logan hasn't brought a girlfriend home in 6 years, and Lucina's like shocked by this, but he was married.
No, longer than that. He hasn't bought a wife. He bought his wife home last time.
Yeah. So if he's only, how long has he been divorced or separated? Only a couple of years, right? So really, he hasn't brought someone home in like a couple of years.
6 years. Did we say that already? You're breaking up a bit.
Is it 6 years since he was married? Or did the wife fit into that 6 years? It doesn't matter. He goes bungee jumping. He's scared of heights, but he's completely not scared of heights.
He's not scared of a loud shirt, that's for sure.
No.
Nor she a loud dress.
No, they were kind of a bit matchy-matchy, weren't they? And if you hadn't noticed, then the voiceover was there to tell us. One thing I was thinking about that Harbour Bridge date is that, do you remember another significant couple who had a lovely date on the Harbour Bridge?
And Toodles.
Yes, they did. I think that was like their first one-on-one. They did the bridge walk.
It was their first date. It was iconic.
So I don't know what that means for Logan and Lucina. But I do love Logan's family a lot.
Amazing family. What was their lunch? What was their lunch?
I think someone said it was salmon.
See, okay. It looked like very thin, like prosciutto to me. And it definitely had capers on it and lemon. And I'm like, that's French.
Right.
Never seen anything as French in my life.
What was that accent?
Huh?
All my life.
All my life.
I'm
It's
trying
English person observing France.
Okay, can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, you're back. You come and you go.
Sorry. Apologies. I don't know how to change that.
That's all right. Let's just muscle on through.
I think next time I just won't be in the wardrobe. I'll I'll try somewhere else, maybe a little closer to the Wi-Fi hub.
Plug right into the mainframe.
Okay, so it kind of bugged me how they were interspersing the dates, by the way, in this episode. Like they were chopping and changing between Lucina's hometowns and Lily's hometowns. I just wanted like one full block per family because it was inconvenient for my note-taking. Anyway, Logan's family know nothing about Lucina. None of us know anything about Lucina, to be fair, but they're kind of like, she said, so what do you know, what has Logan told you about me? And they were like, nothing at all. That's not a good sign, is it? Is he embarrassed of her or is he embarrassed of his family?
I really don't know. I didn't get the impression that they speak at all.
At all. It's very quiet in Logan's house for lockdown. 5 siblings.
It's because Francois here is doing all the talking.
And eye makeup. It's so good.
That's so not what I expected from Logan's mum.
I know.
But I love her. She's amazing.
His sister's quite an amazing character, though. When she finally got her time in the sun, it was pretty funny.
So she had some really important questions to ask, like, who's your favourite Friends character?
Who was it? I don't know.
Monica.
It was Monica.
Monica!
I know! Such a red flag!
That's not a red flag. That's like what's the...
Deal breaker.
A deal breaker.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go around. Who you got?
Well,
Phoebe! Obviously Phoebe.
Favourite or who you most like?
Favourite.
Oh, okay. Well, favourite for me, like, Rachel and Chandler.
Joey.
Okay.
50,
Joey
50.
all day.
Anyway, okay. What other questions did she ask? Because I think I tapped out a little bit at that point.
It was so lame. Rosé or beer?
Oh, she's literally just doing like something she's heard on the radio.
And then Lucina was like, I don't really drink. And then Luella was like, well, the answer's actually both. I was like, man, are you gunning for like a fucking show? What are you doing?
That's so great.
She needed to do a shot of each, though. That was
The double straw. I feel like if she got together with Lily, that would be a fun time.
Yeah, true. And the last one that I wrote down was, what did you think of the Game of Thrones ending? It's just, I don't know. It's just, felt kind of sick. I just couldn't handle it.
What about the kids? The kids all head down to the beach.
Oh, yeah.
Referring to themselves as a unit of adults as the kids.
He's 32. I loved it though.
Okay, Richie's date was in Wanaka. They had a pash in the river. That was weird. It was just like that. It's like they'd tried to run away from the cameras. We'll go into the middle of the river and they can't catch us there. And it sort of worked for a bit, but then the cameraman eventually made his way over.
That's right. As Lily pointed out meticulously on her Instagram story, full nip slip.
What?
Was it full nip?
Full nip. Oh, like a lot. She was, and she's front footing it, you know, she was like zooming in on it, being like, lol, and nobody get this.
I missed that. I was much more concerned about, having been just recently down that part of the country, it is infested with sandflies. Even running water does not protect you. You will just be covered in biting sandflies.
All times of day.
Whenever you like. They're just coming for you. And I don't think they're as bad as people make out as far as bites go. There's definitely worse ones on the Mandel, but they would be riddled. So they've got to really want a pash to sacrifice their skin.
Oh, I think we're under no illusion that they want anything other than just to be pashing all the time. But there's a TV show to make, and they also need to let us think that someone else might possibly win this thing. Lol. Anyway.
No comment.
I've got down here that his brothers remind me of Harry Warner. I don't know why that is.
Oh, yeah. Like a large adult son version.
Yeah. He organised his date. So they jumped out of a plane. Like, that is a real proper adrenaline pumping kind of uniting kind of a moment. They're so into each other. It's just crazy. But he organised his date, and the other one, like Lucina's date was organised. Sorry, the Harbour Bridge bungee jump. Lucina organised that. Well, I mean, someone in production organised all these dates, but you know what I mean. They kind of like Richie had this special thing where he got to organise his hometown date.
But Lucina's an AFOG, you know? Whereas Logan is not an AMOG.
How good were John and Elsie on Marco Polo? Just calling in with a little video. Richie's parents.
Oh,
they did a video call.
yes,
Why
that's
they have
right.
the reactions up through the whole video though?
It's Marco Polo. It's something I've just learned about recently. It's like a video messaging service.
Oh my God. Is it good for these trying times?
It's great for these trying times.
I'm running so many apps at the moment. It is crazy.
Yeah,
I got
but
into
you've got time.
House Party is a great thing for
that.
playing games with friends and family.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Whatever, Alex.
I'm having had breakfast.
topic.
I'm so hungry, and I just realised how much we've still got to talk about. So I'm just going to cut you short there.
It's all right.
Richie said at the end of his hometown date, he said, if we're not together at the end of this, we'll both be missing out on some awesome opportunities, which sounded like Instagram to me.
Definitely.
True.
If we're not together, we're not going to get as many sponsorships.
I will sell 1/3 as many drop crotch pants as I projected to in Q4 2020.
Okay, then we're in Aaron's. Where were we? Tauranga?
Yep.
Yeah.
He lives in Hamilton, I think, or the Waikato somewhere, but they had their date in Tauranga.
You look at
That's
them
where
now.
his family are, I guess. He has a nice fresh haircut.
He
Too
does.
fresh.
Yeah, really
Way
close
too
to the
fresh.
bone.
He also has a box of memorabilia, but it's not really. It's not really memorabilia. It's not actual like mementos of their time together. It's just like
Tat.
It's just tat to represent things.
I think
So
that's okay. I was just happy it didn't contain a lock of her hair and some toenail clippings.
well, not that we saw. No, this is her box that he's giving to her. He's keeping that stuff for
Yeah,
himself.
that's an AMOG's box.
So there was a hockey stick. The wet floor sign was like a terrible. Like you could have done better. That was from their treetop date where I think there was a bit of a puddle on her chair that he cleaned up before she sat down. And then they knocked over the wine, and so he got a wet floor sign to represent that. There was a chessboard and paint and stencils, and what's she going to do with all that shit?
And a blank canvas for the future.
Yeah.
She does not want that shit. I think that went straight in the bin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Right?
agree.
Like-
I agree.
She
And
did
some
like
of the
it,
cornies.
though.
Some of the cornies were like, oh, that should be, give it to the Real Pop Museum. I don't think we want it. We've got Quinn's lovely rose that he made. It's way better. Anyway, he's kind of nervous for her to see the guy he used to be. Have to say I paid attention during this hometown.
Yeah. Oh, Dad, hearing him out as having anger issues as the entree was real tough.
Yeah.
Dad didn't just throw him under the bus. He literally hired a bus to throw him under.
Dad was driving it, man, and he knows how to reverse a bus with a trailer. Like, it was so brutal.
He said he's got his father's anger. He can fire up pretty quick, and that combined with him also being very sensitive. Not a good combo.
No.
Yeah, sensitive and angry. Like, oh man.
He said, there are times I have been disgusted with myself. Things I wish I hadn't done. Like, oh my God.
I need to know what these
Making
things
a
are.
murderer.
It does sound really, really bad, and so I kind of, I just want to know, but I also know that they go through a pretty strict vetting process, so I'm sure it can't be anything like criminal, can it?
When you say that a strict vetting process, do you mean the network that has had like almost in every show had some kind of real bad background?
Yeah, but they wouldn't talk about it on camera. They wouldn't let that come across on camera. Like, I feel like whoever's running this show must be comfortable that what he's talking about isn't something that they're going to get in trouble for, because they wouldn't air it, would they?
Sunk costs. They're too deep into the show, and they've basically got to use all the footage they have, because every episode is getting like 20 minutes longer by the day.
The thing that stunned me most out of all of that, which made me think maybe we missed something in the edit, is Lucina, her takeaway from it was like that I think the fact that he's quick to anger and he's sensitive means that like he doesn't want to grow up. And I'm like, is that what you took away? Because I was like, that he's perhaps a dangerous person.
Yeah, it was a generous read on it, but also grow up, Peter Pan.
Tell you who's grown up. Quinn. Lovely Quinn.
Oh, lovely Napier Quinn.
Oh, my God. Quinn is just such a sweetheart. Not a lot of good chat, apparently, but it looks good.
It looks great.
But also he's trying reading. Like,
yeah, he's cracked a book. Haven't we all?
Cracked a big bookie. Like, I feel like he is worth persevering with because he's so keen to be, the best Quinn he can be. So if you need him to start reading or become a sommelier, whatever it is, he's down, Whereas AMOG's like, what you see is what you get. I'm not... Yeah. I did that one song at one time. Don't make
you won't like me when I'm angry.
Don't make me angry.
Can you imagine? Lily would be in a really tough position if she had like Jesse's Bance with Quinn's physical appearance.
It'd be over.
Be all over for Richie.
And he looked like beautiful Hawke's Bay.
Oh,
like you would just have a lovely time there. I think she vineyards. Art Deco.
She feels he's too locked in, like his roots are too deep in the Hawke's Bay. He's got his business and his stock car. Of course it is.
I thought, shout out to Quinn's brother, who I reckon could be a great Bachelorette contestant for the future. He's a little cutie.
Shout out also to Quinn's mum, Susie Cato.
True.
Big time.
Talk about, hot mum.
Yeah.
If I'm big mum, she's hot mum, and she looks like Susie Cato.
Well, especially with Lily's hot mum too. Like, there's just a lot of hot mum action between that couple, so to speak.
What else? Oh, when they sat down, I don't know if you clocked this, but when they first sat down, when they met up, Quinn and Lily sat down on a park bench, and he just tossed his hat on the ground.
Did he?
Yeah, like he took off his cap and threw it on the ground. Like, didn't put it next to him or just chucked it into the distance.
You can do that in the Hawke's Bay. It's just good, honest country.
Is it like a hat sharing thing?
I don't know what it was. I'm keen to know. Okay, but anyway, let's go into the finalist house, which is a weird thing.
Yeah.
Normally at this stage of the game, in this show, people are staying separately, but not anymore.
The bubble. You got to protect the bubble.
Got to protect the bubble. Richie and Jessie have some awkward chats about the thing, and then there's a cocktail party. Now, this is the one where I think Lily and Lucina get a bit sauced.
Trivia.
Honest opinion.
This was where they filmed Jimmy and Carmen's wedding. The exact same venue where that last cocktail party was, under that thingy. I sat there with mine own buttocks.
Man, lucky as no one else is in this day and age.
I was thinking the same thing.
Hey, does that mean it's definitively freaking cursed?
Yes.
Well, they're a happy couple.
Yeah, but he's...
Jimmy...
He's
ahead of AMOG on the Scary TV Monsters.
He is.
Yeah, true.
He is. I kind of feel like AMOG's the kind of person who is all talk, but when it comes to it, he not much delivery.
Just won't do the murder, is what you're saying.
Yeah, won't do the murder. I think what's his name? What's the other guy? I've forgotten his name already.
Logan.
Carmen and Carmen and
Jimmy.
Jimmy would do the murder. Jimmy would. He'd do the murder and go for a beer afterwards.
We're talking about them as murderers for hire, right? We're not suggesting that there's anything untoward happening in their relationships.
No, of course not. No, it's all just...
But when you're hiring a murderer on the internet, you've got to know it's a murderer you can trust to get the job done.
AMOG talks a big game, but I feel like he'd chicken out at the last minute.
And he'll be real angry at himself.
It had to be me. It had to be me. It had to be me.
Fred Robert Durst.
Okay.
That actually sounds like the Hot Toilet Biscuit song.
Right.
Shit. He was really angry that they talked about his box. He said, I did not want my box in the public forum.
I mean,
Which I think
same.
is true of all of us.
Okay. I don't want to labour too long on the genuine, disingenuous, ungenuine storyline.
Let's leave it. So bad, so boring.
Richie apologises to Lucina. She forgives him. That was never the issue. She'd forgotten all about it. She looks kind of ragged in the moment interviews.
And that's hard for Lucina to look ragged.
It is. It takes a lot. Like this was definitely an intense night, I think. Blah blah blah. They talk about this thing back and forth. It takes a long time for them to realise that they're talking about the events of two different nights. And when they do figure it out, that's when Richie, instead of going, oh, now I get it, I see what he's talking about, that was taken slightly out of context, let me explain, just went like, nah, it never happened. Nah, making it up. He's trying to get a leg up, is what he said. Lily talks to the producers, which is great. Like on camera, just has this little meltdown talking to the producers, which I thought was nice. And there's that sit-down bit with Art in the canteen.
Oh, yeah.
In the staff room.
That's where they had the reception of James and Carmen's wedding.
Right.
And he filmed everything.
He did. It's you kind of see him like look at the GoPro to make sure it's on, like, but it's trying to maintain eye contact with the guy so that he doesn't give away the game that he's recording with his GoPro sitting out on the table.
It was awesome. It was really, really cool. I feel like we should get Art should get a job at Fairgo or something where he has to do heaps of undercover, like, camera in the big cowboy hat. Like, walking into a shop.
Oh, man.
Then they do the rose ceremony. Lily breaks down at the first rose, wanders off, and then comes back and gives her first rose to Jessie, which I didn't see coming.
I did not. I was floored and sort of just disgusted.
Disgusted.
At her decision. Like, Jessie? Come on. Like, the chemistry with Richie is undeniable. And Quinn, man, how do you do that to Quinn? Like one of them. Like, how can? It doesn't seem plausible that one of them is going and Jessie is just sort of hanging about.
So quite often you'll find in the Bachelor and Bachelorette, the lead will choose their third choice to be in the final two to make that final rose an easier choice. Does that make sense?
I do.
Like, at least emotionally.
I understand.
It's a real method commentary.
It wasn't a proposal. I just...
The I do isn't the proposal anyway, Duncan. So don't
a legal binding thing that just happened. Like, I don't. And I think, there's no JPs around these days. We can't go anywhere.
Can we get like a 30-day annulment? Like, what's the
I don't.
I think it's too late. I think it's like maths. If one person says I do, then you have to do it.
That's such a bad message to send out, right?
I'm a witness to this. And I approve.
Unreleased tapes.
You can't marry Big Mum.
Give me that bumper sticker.
Okay. The whole Lucina thing, I mean, that's pointless because they make out this, like, who's she going to give her roses to? Who will her final two be out of Logan and AMOG? Who's it going to be? Oh, both of them. There you go. Okay, so we left on a cliffy of If Lily not giving out that last rose yet, will it be Richie? Will it be Quinn? My money is on Richie. If it had been Jessie and Quinn standing there, I wouldn't have known what she was going to do. But I feel like she's spoken so much about how Quinn's not quite got the chat, and anyone with eyes can see how madly into Richie she is. I think she's going to go for drop crotch, but that's a guess. I'm unspoiled.
She if you are interested in spoiling it potentially, check out the topography in her Instagram stories at the moment. She's in lockdown. And she's blowing it. She's blowing it. She's completely blowing it.
Okay. It's going to be really hard to resist doing that. I'm probably going to do that right away.
Shall we do a pod that drops immediately after the final rose? Feels like the thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
like the old days.
The grand old times.
Yeah, let's do it.
Crack a peri milk.
Should we even can we Facebook Live it, or is that too hard, isn't it, with 3 camera things?
It might be crazy.
I think it might be crazy, but we could definitely do something that lands that evening perhaps. I've got a mini bottle of Lindauer, I think, somewhere. That'll be good.
I've got some tomato sauce.
That's
Not
just
much else.
now you're just showing off.
I might even go and get the top
where we
hat.
are. What? No, you're not to go. Don't break. We've got no phone reception where we are. We're at a batch. It's not ours. It's not even anyone we knows. We've got squatters' rights.
That's crazy. That's crazy shit.
Don't break the bubble. Don't get the top
I'm not
hat,
going to break the bubble. I won't break the bubble.
Don't break the bubble.
I won't break the bubble.
You look like you're going to break the bubble.
You do.
I won't
a
break the
little
bubble.
bit.
But to be clear, it's a house I've been in a lot already. It's not like it's,
no,
it's connected.
But is it empty? It's an empty house.
Yes. Oh no, my stepbrother's in it. But he doesn't leave his bedroom. That's his bubble.
Surfaces. Can live on surfaces.
Yeah, true. The top,
All right.
Okay, anyway, thanks for listening. We'll be back for the foreseeable future, as it turns out. And
I think we should do a Twilight pod.
We're going to do the Twilight pod.
Week after next.
I think we should branch out. I think the Cornies... Tell us what you want.
Yeah.
What do you want in these trying times? What? Because I feel like it's.
So you're saying
I'm just
next week
enjoying
is the
chatting
end
to all
of
of you. No, well, I don't think so. What do you guys think? I feel like we can keep going. There's no rules anymore, right? Apart from
there's no rules.
It seems like while we're all trapped inside, we can throw an hour a week at this.
Well, no one can come and arrest us, can they?
Well, the police seem to be able to do basically anything now.
Details. They're too busy stopping people from driving to the supermarket to worry about us breaking the podcast laws.
All right. Lovely time.
Okay, thanks, Nando's.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Stay
everybody.
safe. Don't break your bubbles, corns.
Are you curious about how business can be better? I'm Simon Pound, and I host Business is Boring, a podcast where I kōrero with some of the most interesting people in entrepreneurship, commerce, and making things happen. Tune in to Business is Boring every Tuesday, brought to you by the Spin-Off Podcast Network in partnership with Spark Business Lab.
Kia ora, I'm Alex Casey, Senior Writer at The Spin-Off. We wouldn't exist without the ongoing support of our generous members. If you're able to, you can make a donation at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
The Spin-Off Podcast Network.